Hello, everyone. Welcome to Self Love Sundays. It's your sis Tina Ricks. How are you guys doing today? We have some special guests with us. We have filmmaker and director, Miss Sharee Silerio. And we have Miss Chelise Manuel here to help us, get through the program and share some of her life's experiences that definitely coincide with the film. Her film is called Black Girl Blue, and I'm gonna, pass the mic to Miss Sharee so she can go ahead and let us know about her film.
Yeah, thank you both for having me here. It's truly an honor, and I appreciate you inviting me.
Absolutely.
So Black Girl Blue is a short documentary where five Black women talk about their mental health challenges, including how the strong Black woman stereotype impacts or limits their healing and their journey, their mental health and well-being in general. It also includes interviews with two Black female therapists who talk about some of the particular challenges that Black women face, along with some of the tools and things that we can learn to help us with our mental health, to maintain it, to get back on track if we have those needs in the future.
Absolutely. So, today we're going to talk about the different and unique struggles that Black women face in society that they have to deal with, for the most part, alone most of the time. These are things that are happening on the inside that they're trying to process, and society tells them that they're strong Black women, and they're supposed to be able to push through. You're expected to push through. Single mom, push through. That's just what we do, right? So we don't want to do that no more. We tired. And I'm just so glad that Sharee found me and that we found each other. And her film is right on time. And I'm just excited to hear a little bit more about it. She gave me the privilege of watching the trailer, and I was like, this is good stuff. This is really good. You were on the news recently, right? Where are you at? You're in Missouri?
Yes, I'm in St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up, Kansas City Chiefs? Is that y'all's people?
No.
Y'all have your own football team?
So we did until the LA took them. We were the St. Louis Rams. So now that
y'all do have. So y'all are the Chiefs.
So I guess, but yeah. We're still salty about it. So
okay. So what about baseball? Do y'all have a baseball team?
Yeah, that's the Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Oh, I like them. Okay. And y'all have the St. Lunatics, huh?
Yeah, St. Lunatics.
Do they still perform? Do they still get gigs there?
Yeah, they had a concert here probably about 2 months or so ago. Yeah, like it wasn't like a regular concert. It was like an in your car kind of drive-through concert. But yeah,
that's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. So are they still the Kings of St. Louis?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of like the three major points and topics that you really shed light on in the documentary Black Girl Blue.
Yeah, so in the documentary, one of the things is literally just Black women being vulnerable and sharing some of the most traumatic things that they have been through in their lives that really got them started on the journey to their mental health, in particular healing. So some of the women deal with things like sexual abuse. Some of them dealt with PTSD, anxiety. So we kind of go through some of those different scenarios and get a good, vivid picture of what were things like and what were they going through, what were they feeling, and how did they get to the point where they were like, I can't do this anymore, I need help. So that's one big thing, because like you were saying earlier, Black women are expected to be strong 24/7, 365. We don't have the privilege of being fully human. We don't have the privilege of being sad, of needing help, of people just, tending to us. We're expected to be everything to everybody and take it, no matter what we're going through. So another thing is us talking about in the film what the pressure that the strong Black woman stereotype brings, and the reasons why we need to, let that expectation go and just allow ourselves to not be okay, to make room to, receive the help that we need. And then the other thing that we talk about in the film is what has worked, what has helped the women who have been through these different things, from therapy to either coaching, meditation. We cover all of those different tools. And
excellent. So you shed light on the problem. You allow people to share their story, but it doesn't just stop there. There's like some type of a solution or resolve to what comes next, and that is treatment, and that is actually getting help. Sometimes we can one step in the right direction is saying, okay, this is the problem that I'm having, or this is how I feel, and I'm finally ready to admit it. Okay, and then after that, it's like, okay, so what do you do next?
Right. Yeah. So a lot of the women talk about, we just go through a lot of different things. One of the therapists is an occupational therapist. So she talks about how she helps people from her perspective. Then we also have a licensed practical counselor who talks about the different things and tools that women can, incorporate into their lives. But then in addition to the film, I started a mental health fund to help offer free therapy sessions to Black women in the St. Louis area. Because I know that could be a barrier. Like, that's been a barrier for myself as an entrepreneur. I don't have health insurance, so I have to go out of pocket, and $100 or whatever per session, which therapy once or twice a week, that's not cheap.
Very expensive. Yeah, I can attest to that. I'll share. When I see my psychiatrist, it's $130, $150, $259. It just depends on what's going on and how long we're meeting that day, and it's all out of pocket. I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have, I can get insurance, but because I'm not sickly, I'd rather just have those high, payments that I got to make whenever I do need to go get something done, rather than be paying monthly, because I'm not like ill,
Yeah, right.
It was cheaper for me to just have this, or I just had a surgery, an endometrial surgery. That was almost $4,000 or $3,000 to $4,000, and I got to pay out of pocket. But I mean, if you're paying like, what is it, insurance premium, annual premium, you're going to be paying could be $400 or $500 a month. So it's still cheaper, So, yeah,
that's true.
So that's awesome that you guys have that option to have, is it supplements? The amount that it would cost to go see a mental health professional, or it covers the entire thing?
So it covers 2 sessions fully, 100%. So we've been able to help about 7 women. My goal is to be able to help hundreds of thousands more. But it's a start.
And what's the name of that nonprofit?
So it's called the Black Girl Blue Mental Health Fund.
Oh, awesome. Okay, so it's tied into the documentary. So you're and that is a nonprofit?
Not yet. I mean, that's
a little fund. It's a fund that's set up. Okay,
right.
And you're helping women, and you've helped 7 women. So that's pretty impressive. And hopefully more people catch on or learn about it from watching this in your news appearance and everything. And hopefully you can grow that, because I know that's where your heart is. So tell me what your educational background is. How did this become, like an important topic for you?
Yeah, so it's a long story. It goes back to childhood when it comes to filmmaking. So I grew up in a neighborhood. So up until like 4 or 5 years old, I grew up in a predominantly Black neighborhood. In kindergarten, my family moved us into a predominantly white neighborhood.
Okay.
So that environment caused a lot of anxiety for me, because I was the only one out of maybe 2 or 3 Black kids, period, in the neighborhood, in the school, etc. And then I was obviously the other. I heard things like, you're ugly because you're Black, or somebody would sniff me and say, you don't stink. I thought Black people stink. Or so I didn't feel human in the environment that I spent most of my time in. So writing and messing and playing with the family camcorder was like my outlet and my refuge. I would record myself singing and dancing and doing stuff like that. And I made a little short film with my sister and her friend. So, in addition to that, the one person who I always felt safe with was my uncle, Nell. And he dealt with schizoaffective disorder. He had extreme social anxiety. And he passed away in 2016 unexpectedly. And for about a year or so, I immediately went into the mode, okay, I'm gonna be okay. I gotta be okay. I don't have a choice but to be okay. I got these dreams I want to make happen. I got a husband. I gotta, be there for him and make sure everything is cool. But a year and a half later, I was in a deep, dark depression. I didn't know, like, I was going to therapy, but I wasn't allowing myself to really feel what I was experiencing, that grief and that pain. So when I finally decided that I wanted to do something different about it, I had a conversation with a friend about what I was going through, and that response didn't help at all. I heard things like, "You're ungrateful for being depressed. Nobody has a reason to be depressed." Or this was the thing that really hit me, was like, "I don't care what you're going through." So for me, that was like, okay, this isn't the first time this person has said these types of things. This isn't the first time I've heard these type of things, but I want it to be the last time. Mm-hmm. So I was like, how can I let people know what it's like to deal with depression, what it's like to deal with anxiety, so that hopefully we can cultivate empathy, and me nor any other Black woman has to hear those words out of somebody's mouth when we're talking about what we're struggling or going through. So I went back to what I knew, which was filmmaking as a way to express myself. So I was like, I should just ask Black women if they want to share their stories, talk to them about what they've been through, and then that's how the project was born.
That's beautiful. I can completely relate to what you're talking about. I mean, I came from a very abusive, non-supportive of any kind of emotionals, no emotional intelligence, no empathy, or any of that in my home. So, coming from a home that's like that, I wasn't expecting anyone to care about me in society. And guess what? They actually didn't. Mm-hmm. So that's what led me to the field of mental health, and why I've been in it for 15, 16 years. Was to help people, because I was like, oh my gosh, this journey is so hard. It is. I have to be able to reach people and be respected doing it, because we're not respected. There has to be, another race can just go start a page and they have no credentials, no education or anything, and they can, make it and help people, and ourselves, we have to be overeducated. If you realize that Black women are the most educated women in America. Yeah, by 2, 3, 4 degrees, okay? Mm-hmm. Just to sit next to a counterpart of a different race making the same salary or a little less. Mm-hmm. So, you got to educate yourself. And I knew that I had to do that. That way I could have a voice to be heard and to be able to help people. In 15 years in the game now with mental health, I knew that it still wasn't enough to just sit in my office and see one person at a time. I knew that I needed to reach more people. And just like you, came up with the film and did the music and mental health film, knowing that people can relate to music and, hear other people's stories. The whole thing is that society teaches us that we're supposed to be okay all the time. And then on top of that, that's just generally American society. You're supposed to be happy. You're supposed to be okay. You're supposed to present happy, at least publicly. And then on top of that, women of color, and specifically Black women, are supposed to be strong all the time, even though they're going through a lot of stuff or went through a lot of trauma. They typically don't have as many supports as their other counterparts, and their families are typically fragmented. Okay, so they really have to rely on themselves. So, with all of that going on, and society is supposed to be telling you that you're supposed to be strong and you're supposed to be happy all the time, you really just don't know. You just feel lost. You can just feel lost, unheard, unloved, and lost.
Yes. Yeah. That's one of the missions of my film production.
Check this. A strong tree with no foundational roots. Damn. What in the world is that? Mm-hmm. How can you be a strong tree with no roots, no foundational roots? So you have to go and build your roots to connect to your strong tree. Now that's some hard work. That's crazy, right? So that's some deep work that has to be done. That is some deep work that has to be done. And you are a game changer. You are what we need. Little Black girls are going to watch you and say, wow, Sharee did it. She's not a licensed therapist. She's not in the mental health field. She did this because she knew that she needed to live, and she wanted to live, and she wanted to feel alive, and she wanted to be alive. And she knew that if she didn't feel alive on the inside, even though she was strong, something was missing. So she went to go connect the dots and go find her sisters and find her tribe of women that are going through some of the same stuff and give them a voice. That way people can start to understand that are not having that experience or that are not Black, what we go through. And also to help Black women who are going through it identify what they're feeling and what they are going through. Oh, no wonder I feel like that. Wow, she explained it perfectly. Like you're helping to expose and shed light to something that's been going on for a long time that we're just taught to just deal with, pray about it. I'm sorry, I don't have any roots. What am I praying about? I need help.
Exactly.
I need help. Yeah. I need help here on the earth. Yes, I need help from my higher power, but I also need help right here. There's no this world would not need to exist if none of us needed each other. And, we didn't have anybody, or we're not supposed to seek help from anyone that is on this planet with us. That's absolutely crazy.
And it's funny you say that because that's what I dealt with for years. So I was always spiritual. So it was always everything, I was raised in the church. So it was always pray about it. Everything was take it to God, pray about, let go, let God. But it wasn't until after like the death of my father that I really learned and started learning I was really depressed. And what I learned in my whole thing is I was suppressing, but suppression turned into depression. And that's why I tell people you can't suppress. But I was always the strong one of the family. So everyone leaned on me. Plus, I mentor. I don't really broadcast a lot, but I am a mentor and I mentor a lot of people. So everyone comes to me. But the saddest part was when my best friend came to me one time and she was like, Shalise, you're there for everybody else, but who's there for you? And I couldn't answer her. And I just busted tears.
Did you cry?
I cried so hard because I was like, nobody. Yeah. I just pray to God. I pray to God. I journal like this. But it wasn't until I had hit rock bottom. And when Sharee was saying about, after her uncle died in 2016, my dad died in 2016. And so I thought I was okay. And it got worse and worse. And it was around February, March of 2017 where I hit a plateau of my low. And I was in such a dark place. Like I could go outside, it could be bright, shiny, but all I saw was darkness. And finally, I had to move because I was reading a book and it was like I couldn't heal in the same place I got hurt. So I had to move to Dallas. I had to move away from what all hurt me, and I had to get into another environment. And I got therapy. So I actually got physical therapy from a person here on earth. I still prayed, but I needed that extra because I was the master of suppression. Everyone was like, Chelise, I never knew. And one time I had shared a story on Facebook and I was just telling all these events that happened in my life. And people was like, oh my God, I would have never knew because all you do was smile. Because I never wanted to bring my pain or inflict my pain on other people because people always came to me to mentor or, life lessons.
Do you know?
And so I just,
Do you know that is a sign of low self-esteem? To help everybody else and not expect anyone to help you. So that means you don't feel worthy of taking up anyone's time or for anyone to sit and, hear you out. So it's a self-love issue to feel like
it was
your cup was empty. You gave everything to everybody. And by the time it was time for you to ask for something, it was never reciprocated. You're just giving.
And I felt that, I dealt with all that you were talking about, self-esteem and not feeling worthy, not feeling appreciated. So I felt like if I could make someone else smile, that was making me smile. But at the end, I was happy on the outside, but I was dying inside. I was like dead. I was an empty, dead vessel. Now I'm finally building myself.
Yes. You and I went to high school together. I mean, we went our separate ways since then, but, we're able to keep up with each other on Facebook. And recently, I was going through an emotional breakdown probably 2 months ago, and you reached out and you're like, hey, I just want to share with you that you've inspired me and you've helped me. And I've also been through some of these things. And I was like, really? Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, someone gets it. Now, I didn't even know that you had a child as a teenager.
Our kids are yours, my daughter's 19 too, so our kids are like 2 to 3 months apart. So we
Are
were
you
both teen
kidding me?
moms.
Yeah.
Which is,
I didn't know that. I didn't know, but you know what you said was you were like, I needed to get out of the environment that I was in. I needed to go. Okay, I needed to go and accelerate my life. So I left that high school, Sight Springs High School. Hey Panthers!
I remember.
I left and I went to a Winfern, which was like an accelerated school, so I could, get on with my life. I'm like, well, I'm an adult now. I don't want to raise my hand to go to the potty.
Oh my God. My daughter went to Winfern and my daughter graduated from Winfern. So yes.
So, I moved on, got out of high school and went on to college and went on. But, I know I'm saying all that to say this, that on top of all of that other stuff going on, we both had the challenge of being a Black teen single parent.
Mom.
They made it.
And that stereotype is on a whole other level.
To be a teen parent now with the MTV show, but they're making money. We weren't making money back then from our stories. Okay, we were
trying to survive.
Okay, it was trauma on top of
with
trauma.
No father in the picture because her dad was in the picture. So here I am, a teen mom, and I am just like, what am I gonna do? And then I'm having everyone in my ear. People, oh, you should have abortion, but I didn't believe in that. So I'm having this baby. I got to work. I got to provide for not only me now. So I'm not able, my friends, I lost a lot of friends because I can't go party. I got a baby now. So everyone stops being your friend. You don't have no one to vent to. Don't nobody want to hang out with the, young Black girl with a baby now because the parents are going to look at you like, yeah, she had you get looked at like you're a plague or something because you're a teen mom.
Absolutely.
But it's life. And it was so hard.
Like you're some kind of promiscuous sideshow freak that's just standing on the sidewalk with your legs open saying, hey, come here.
Right. Exactly.
I know that sounds like a horrible description, but that's the feeling that we had.
That's how you look. Yeah. And then I was in ministry. I was in the youth ministry at church. As
a teenager, typically you barely even had sex. That's why you got pregnant in the first place. You didn't know what the hell you were doing. I barely had sex and got pregnant, and then was stigmatized as some kind of weird, sexual rabbit for years until I'm like, I never let any of those, societies. I've just never been the person to let society put me in a box. It's just never, even whenever I was pregnant at 16. My daughter actually helped motivate me to I just hunkered down. It's just me. My family is abusive. There's no help. And this child deserves the best. And she's had the best when she was a little kid. I don't play. I work my ass off. But that goes to talk about that strong woman thing, So I knew I had to work. I knew that nobody would really care to listen to anything that I was going through, and dealt with several bouts of depression. Never suicidal, but just low because there's nobody there. Yeah. Like you can be a strong.
Yeah, because all your friends are like looking at you weird, and then you're strong. Like, nobody wants to come hang out with you.
Strong tree, no roots. Men are gonna probably come in and try to take advantage of you, right? And you may feel happy that you have somebody that can help, right? Because you've been doing it by yourself, right? And then you let them in, and they may further traumatize you, right? Then you got to jump out of that and go fix yourself and heal, And this whole cycle can just keep going on and on and on because that person doesn't care if they hurt you because they figured you're gonna rebuild yourself anyway because you're a strong Black woman.
Exactly, and that's what is the worst.
It sheds light on what we go through. We also need to talk about how we are abused because we're expected to rebuild and be so strong. That people have no problem, being disloyal to us or hurting us because we're expected to just persevere and push through.
Yeah.
I mean, it's deep.
It runs so deep. Like we could like make our own movie. Like oh my gosh, everything fell. Hold on. Like we can make our own movie, really.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. The phone just tumbled over. But because we're expected to do so much, but what people don't understand, like when you're in that room by yourself and it's just you and you. And what I learned is asking yourself the tough questions. I had to start asking myself the tough questions, whether it hurt or not. That was my way to heal. I had to quit band-aiding and trying to put, suppress it and throw it away. I had to face it. I had to just face it.
I spent a lot of time thinking that I needed to finish the piece of my puzzle that was missing. Our era isn't this current era. These people are a little bit more wise and smarter than we are, okay? These 20-something-year-olds. Now, in our era, it's like everyone has the family, right? So, like, you spend all this time trying to finish the piece of your puzzle. Like, okay, I have my education. I finished my master's degree at 22. 21, I wasn't even quite 22 yet, all A's. I'm working a salary job at a mental health clinic at 22. I'm working my ass off and I'm like, okay, I need to finish the piece of my puzzle. Instead, I should have been like, no, now I can get on to things that I wanted to do that I put to the side instead of trying to finish this piece of the puzzle. But a lot of that was church culture. In Houston, church culture is very prominent. And, you just feel that I definitely was judged. I'm not even going to say I feel like, and treated differently. I remember going to a woman that was over the children and teens ministry at the church that I went to at that time. This is probably like 05, 06. And I went and talked to her and was like, hey, I have my master's degree in marriage and family therapy, and I really want to help these inner city kids. I'm a teen parent. I'm 21, 22 now. And, I just want to kind of help talk to them about some of the things that, I went through and encourage them. Let me tell you what she did.
Wow.
She didn't even answer me. I can't make this up. She did not say one word to me. She just said,
wow. Well, see, and see, mine was the opposite because I was in the youth ministry and then I ended up getting pregnant. So imagine being in youth ministry and I was like very active in the church and here I am pregnant. And then everyone was just like, I heard the talking, like I kept going to that church. That's how bad it got. And the crazy part was it wasn't the teens, it was the older women who were talking and bickering and, talking about me. And I'm like, okay, I made a mistake, but like the Bible says, judge not, but y'all are judging. But it was like, I just got so many looks, so many sneers, so many whispers. And it put me in a shell. And I did end up developing self-esteem issues. I developed all this stuff, but my outlet was journaling. I know, like Sharee, you did film, you videotape. I journaled. I have like a stack of journals with so many stories. I need to write a book. Everybody keeps telling me. But it was my outlet was journaling because it all went back to that. Who do you have to vent to? Nobody.
Yeah. I started writing music. I recorded some music in grad school. It's probably like 1920-ish. And I got a song called Cycling. I'm probably going to re-record that song and release it. It's like the chorus is, I'm cycling, thinking my reality is a dream. I'm cycling. There's got to be a place for me. One of the verses is like, I'm paralyzed from what I hear they say about me. I say I don't care, but I still ain't move from out my seat. So just all that kind of stuff going on, and I played it for my mom, which we're not that close, but she's like, wow, what made you think of writing the song? I was like, well, my life. My life.
That's the most like prized possessions is your life experiences, I feel. Life experiences have that's what, started me with mentoring because I wanted to be that person that person felt like they didn't have. And, mentoring is something I've always, loved to do. And I want to mentor, like I'm working on actually starting something for teen moms because I was that teen mom. And a lot of them feel like they can't do nothing. But here I am. I got through school. Like I've been a certified tech 17 years. So I survived. I made it. I was that one that everybody thought was going to drop out of school and not be nothing. But I have a banging career. I am an entrepreneur too. I do have my own business, So as a single teen mom, I did make something of myself. And I just want other teen moms to know, like, you can do it. Like, look at teen. Like I said, me and her, we were pregnant at the same time and didn't know it. But we made something of ourselves. Like, so a lot of people feel like, and they, like, I hear the society now, oh, you're a teen mom, you ain't gonna never be nothing. You ain't gonna be able to do this. But I was able to. I had, I was able to get through school.
The whole thing is just, you know, they say, oh, pro-life, but you choose to have the child while they're, I just want to say, while there are definitely members of the church who are choosing to abort. Okay. Yes. We know by the statistics, this is true. Yes. Okay. Of how many abortions there are. Okay. Per capita, wherever. Per race breakdown. Okay, so there's definitely Christians having abortions, but here's the deal. So you want to judge the person who had the child and gave the person life because you're pro-life, but you are taking birth control, or you are, you know, having secret abortion. And it's just like, it's just so hypocritical. Can we just have empathy? What if you didn't know that child's story? How did they end up in a predicament where they were pregnant? Did you care to get the story? Or did you look, judge, turn your nose up, move away? What's going on? We have to change. We have to be more empathetic. We have to be more empathetic.
It's about the root though. Like, where did that come from? Like how like you just said, how did that happen? Everybody looks at the surface and not what led to that moment. Like, just even thinking about just being in therapy. Like I shouldn't have stopped going to therapy, but like I mentioned earlier, being an entrepreneur, you don't have insurance. So it's some stuff you gotta let go when it's too much. But I started going back like earlier this year because my anxiety was through the roof, you know, with the coronavirus, with women and men and children, you know, still getting killed by the police just because. And one of the things that it brought up was all of those roots. So from like when I talked about earlier, being the only Black kid. So not only being the only Black kid, but being a 5'7" in 4th grade, right? So I was tall, I was big.
Wait a second, how tall are you? You're tall like me?
Well, I stopped growing at a certain point, so I'm only about 5'8", but I was about 5'7" in 4th or 5th grade.
So. I was too. I wore like 10 shoe in 4th grade. And the teacher, I don't know where you are, but you called my weight out in front of all of the kids, and I was the only Black kid that was big boned in the 4th grade. Ain't nobody tell you that I was 143 pounds and I had a weight problem at that time.
Right, and that was me because I was always the little chubby one. So they would like, and I'm tall, so like the kids would tease me and call me Chelise. So it was like so heartbreaking.
How tall are you?
I'm only 5'5".
Girl, bye. I thought you were tall.
No, but I was like the chunky kid. But I was like, I'm saying in size, I was just like a plumper one. So it was like, they were like, oh, Sharee the Beast is what they would call me. They were kids are rude.
That's what I was getting.
So it's like, and I moved here from up north. So I'm from Indiana, which is like predominantly Black. And my mom moved me to kind of Katy, which, you know, is more diverse, but more, you know, of other races. So I'm looked at like, who is this girl, you know? And it's just, I don't know. I mean, I just wish that the world would be more kind. But of course it's not. So people just need to, you know, I was listening to something, it's like people just need to always have, I feel everyone needs that one person that they can be honest with. Like, you have to be able to be honest and just say whatever you need to say, no matter how it comes out, this and this and that. But I feel that helps a lot when you have someone you can talk to.
I think people need to be authentically mean, authentically empathetic. Just be authentic in whatever you are. If you're like an evil person, be authentic about it. Just tell me straight up so I can leave or like go to a different church. Like there's so many churches here. Just let me know. Let me know. Just be like, we don't want you here. We kind of don't like this look. It's not good for the aesthetic here. You're not going to get to be a leader here. We're not going to put you on top of anything. We don't like your story. Just be honest so I can move on. You know, be honest with people. I think everyone should be their authentic self. And if your authentic self is mean or it doesn't have any emotional intelligence, then just say, I'm living, but I can't help you. You need to go find somebody to help you because I don't know what to tell you. And I don't want to waste any more of your breath while you're crying and telling this long story. And I'm very disinterested. I need to go walk my dog. Okay? Like just be honest, but maybe not that frank. Be like, I can't help you. But I think that we can try to find somebody that can help you. Or I'm not sure if we have if this is the right ministry for you, But I do know of some organizations that do have special programs specifically tailored for your type of a family situation. And I think that would be a better fit for you, because I want you to feel good and fit in. I don't want you to feel like you don't belong. Just like there's a way to be honest with love. Just be your authentic self.
Yeah.
Be truthful. Because if you're going to do more hurting than helping, like you think you're like quietly judging, the person can feel energy, and they can feel you don't accept them, and they're already been obviously traumatized at some point in their life. Mm-hmm. So
I think that's why a lot of people have kind of steered away from the church, because if you notice, like a lot of people I ran into, they was like, well, the church say come as you are, but when I come, I'm judged because of this, or I'm not dressed like this, or I don't have this car or that car. And I experienced that in so many churches where it's like, if you're not, like, they have cliques, and that's like the worst thing in the church. Oh, you have the cliques of people who have the high, who's tithing high, who have the nice cars and this and that. But it's like, we're all the same underneath. But I feel like what you're saying is right. Like, and that's why a lot of people like steer away from the churches now, is what I'm noticing, is because like you're still judged regardless.
I know here in Austin, I actually have the pastors, the youth ministry pastor that's over, like, I believe the adolescents, I think children and adolescents, but definitely no adolescents. His name is Vicente Coatney, and he is really good. Like, he works with those children, and there's no judging there. They come from, all different various types of backgrounds, and they accept them as they are, and they integrate the lifestyle of the children into the worship experience. And we cover some of that in our documentary on episode, I think it's episode 5 coming up next. And we go to Greater Mount Zion, and we feature one of the children that was attending church there at the time, and cover the story. And the pastor talks a little bit about, their ministry and their approach to life. And, it's very much more, and I asked the challenging question, like, are you guys accepting of all kind of people? And he was like, absolutely, absolutely. And you can just look around and see it. It clearly wasn't a lie. Really down to earth, and just doing, presenting the word of God and Christianity in a more healthy, loving, and accepting way. So I say that to say this, that there are churches, that are doing it right. But we have to realize, if we're not being treated right, we don't need to work to be accepted anywhere. If you already feel that you're not being treated right, and you have clearly been disrespected and not treated right, leave. You have no obligation to keep showing up there all the time, even if that means you're out of church for 6 months, but you're watching it online until you find one that works for you. Leave, and make sure anything that you do in your life is sowing into you and making you healthy. Don't stay anywhere. I don't care if it's even at church, where you are not feeling like you're being loved and accepted. Nowhere.
Yep, that's been my journey over the last few months. I went to, of course, everything went online. I was watching online I'm not even watching that church, the church that I was a member of anymore, because it was just too many things that I feel like devalue, like you said, who I was as a person, my Blackness, what I believe in as far as being a believer and having a relationship with God. Things just came up and in sermons and other things that just didn't sit right. So I'm like you said, I'm not getting ready to traumatize myself. I'm not getting ready to feed into this. I'm just going to separate myself. And I never thought I would get to this point with this church, because I felt like it was a church that helped me grow and really remove those layers of performance when it came to the church. But I mean, it's time for me to go somewhere else. Where? I don't know, but I just know that place isn't my place anymore.
Sharee,
and that's the thing, and that's okay.
Isn't that beautiful? Like, how to explain that, right? And it just piggybacks right off of what I was saying. Like, I don't know where you're going to go next, and nor do you, but you know that is not anymore, and it's doing
that's not
more, it's causing you to regress spiritually. And you shouldn't go where your faith isn't being built up, and where you as yourself aren't feeling like more of a complete whole person, and you don't feel those roots starting to grow. We've done some work. We've done great work, but we got to understand that we're just working from such a deficit as Black women that we have a long way to go. And the way that those roots keep growing for us is by continuing to do this work and continuing to talk about uncomfortable topics, continuing to shed light on things that nobody talks about in society. And we're not going to be liked for it. If your goal is to be liked by everybody, you're playing yourself, and you can go home now and stop everything that you're doing, because the goal is not to be liked by everybody. Okay, the goal is to work to reach the tribes that need you. There's people, there's 8 billion people on Earth. Okay, if you touch 1,000 of those people in the 40 more years that you're going to live, you've done your job. Okay, so it's your job is to focus on your mission. It's not to focus on whether people like you or not. You put up something about your documentary, you get 0 likes. Somebody puts up a film of Cardi B talking about her walk and it gets 5 million views. Don't be affected by that. It's just that what you are sharing isn't something that people in society are taught to clap for at this time. So you're doing the foundation work. Let's take, for instance, the illegal workers that are building homes. I live in Texas, so we have a lot of people that build homes, and typically they're Mexican. And not saying anything about Mexicans. There's a story I'm getting to here. Okay, so we see them building, right? We're not paying attention to the person that's building the homes, right? They're laying the bricks, they're putting the foundation up, they're building bridges, they're building all this stuff, right? No one pays attention until it's done. So we are the bricklayers. You may not get any claps. You might not get hand claps. If you're looking for a hand clap, you can pack up and go do something else with yourself that everyone else is doing. You have to keep working, because the goal is whenever you leave, we're not immortal. We will all go away at some point in time, that the work that you did stands the test of time and helps somebody else that helps somebody else. So if that's your focus on helping and making sure that you are healing yourself through the helping, by the way, that's part of the trick of the game here. The more real and authentic you are with yourself, the deeper and more precise you can help somebody else. But the work that you did on your own inner man, so you know exactly what to do to help somebody else. And that person goes and helps somebody else, and they're helping, and they're in they're helping someone. They probably don't even know that they're helping someone. They're just sharing how they overcame a situation. That conversation, those stories is the power is in the story. But we've been taught to not talk about things that are not, accepted in society comfortably. So a lot of those stories, those are our testimonies if you're Christian, and those are our, things that help heal people if you're not Christian, is by sharing. You have to share the highs, you have to share the lows. You can't only share the highs, you got to share the lows too. Only share the highs, you're going to cause somebody to go kill themselves. Think about that. And I'm not just saying that to say that. I have people all over the world, and I'm going to start letting them, join us on Self-Love Sundays, but they'll tell me, I was very suicidal. Coming to your page helps, hearing something help, I was very low, so you're helping somebody by sharing. It may make them uncomfortable who aren't ready to be so authentic. It may make them uncomfortable. It may make them mad. May make them want to not like your things or anything to make you go away, so you feel not confident about sharing and putting things up because it looks like no one's paying attention to it anyway. Keep sharing because you're touching people and helping people gain the tools to overcome the things that have been struggling in their life, and pulling them down and weighing them down. And, the work that you're doing is awesome. And us as Black women, I just appreciate you guys joining me, because, we're talking about topics that are uncomfortable, and it's like, it's not just me talking and sharing. You're having some of the same experiences. We all live in different places. We're all on different journeys in life, that we're all experiencing some common things that are happening to all of us. That means that it's a big problem, and we have to continue to shed light on it and continue to advocate about mental health. And I believe faith and mental health go hand in hand. I'm a Christian too. However, again, you have to find the route, the path, the organization, and the tribe that's right for you. Every episode, you're probably going to hear me say, find your tribe. Find your tribe. I do still believe in church, but I believe that you better go find the right one for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You better find the right
and it's someone like it was someone like Sharee that really made me like, I mean, I know I don't know you, but what you're doing, like how you reach out to these women and let them share their story and kind of you have that empathy. It was another lady like you that helped me to finally open up. And learn that I don't have to get approval because I was always trying to be accepted. I was always, I was living my life through everyone's eyes, my mom, my this, because I wanted that hand clap. And it wasn't to a woman, that she was like, you need to just learn to be your own cheerleader, clap for yourself, pat your own self on the back. But, you reaching out to these women is so powerful because there's so many women who just want someone to listen. And someone to just understand what they're going through and not, like you said, having to live for the world. Like she said, you may put your stuff out there and it may get 1 or 2 likes, but then, like you said, you put up a video of, the WAP or something, or Megan Thee Stallion with some body and it gets 1 million. But what works for me is when I share, because I'm a transparent person on my page, I share a lot of my experience. And I don't share it for the likes. I share it because it's those inboxes I get that said, man, that really helped me. And that's what I do it for. I don't do it for the likes. I don't do it for the clout or whatever they say, these young people. I do it because I know someone's out there is listening. And there's so many people who's like, man, that verse you put up there, it helped me because I was really having a rough day, but I appreciate it. And it's not done publicly. It's done in silence. But to me, it's like, you know what? So keep sharing your stuff. I just wanted to say I applaud you. I wish I would have known you, when I was, because it was someone that just took the time, and you really took the time. And I know the women are so appreciative. I appreciate you. Thank you for helping them.
Her, so get her information. Another thing
I would definitely get her information because it's like
another thing that's been happening.
So many, like you're helping someone. And a lot of people I'm helping, they may not even reach out to me, but I know it's helping because, like I said, I get them private messages, this and like when I don't put something up for a few days, they be like, "Where you at? You okay?" So it's the background that is what's important to me. I don't have to be the limelight.
That have come on Self Love Sundays that didn't know each other because y'all don't know each other. I just put y'all together because I feel like this should work, and they've made friendships and support each other now, and it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. I want to see Black women win, and I'm not that woman that's like, well, if I make it, ha ha ha, guys, I made it. No, I'm like, oh,
how can I help you make it?
Yeah, come. That's all
going through. What do you need? How can I help? Here's what I know. And here's what's worked for me. And people don't know, they have that saying, you see me in my glory, but you don't know my story, and you forget that everyone doesn't know the things that you've been through. So sometimes you go out expecting people to understand you or understand a reaction that you have to something, but they don't know anything. Who did you tell the story to?
Right.
So, that's what made me, decide to start doing Self-Love Sundays and just share. If I'm telling people to share their stories and I'm all about sharing stories, and we have the docuseries out, this is a time to be as truthful. You don't have to tell all your business, but as truthful as you feel comfortable with being, and share some of the sticky, sad, unfun, not pretty, not highlighted and contoured parts of your life, not teeth all done up parts of your life, okay? But life isn't pretty. Of course, we want to present to the world pretty, right? But Tina don't look like this all the time, and I want to share some of what I go through when I don't look like this. No, I don't smile all the time. I smile a lot. You can have joy and still have depression. You can be content and thankful for the things that God's done in your life and all the things that He's brought you through, and still have depression. That depression is embedded in you because you're a strong tree with no roots.
Something I want to say about that. what I was trying to get to earlier is about those roots. So like I mentioned, I was experiencing anxiety, severe anxiety earlier this year. I started going back to therapy, right? Which took me back to like what I mentioned earlier, being, you know, only Black kid, all these other things awkward stood out. But the thing that I started doing the EMDR therapy, which is, you know, visiting those traumatic events and rewiring them in my brain. And the reason that I know, like when you said faith and mental health go together, I know that starting this process was what God wanted me to do, is because several years ago, I was at home and it was late at night. I couldn't sleep. I was just up thinking and thinking and thinking. And I was like, okay, God, like, why am I up? Like, what's going on? I can't sleep. I need to go to sleep. So all of a sudden, I just started thinking about some of the things that I went through as a child, like bullying, being called, you know, ugly, raccoon, you crispy and Jolly Green Giant, all of those things.
Gorgeous.
And
ridiculous.
I immediately heard God tell me as I was saying all those things that, okay, what they said about you wasn't true though. And then I think about going through EMDR therapy, and it's basically that same process. It's literally going back to those moments where I was bullied, where I was sexually abused, where I was sexually assaulted, and rewiring the way that I like kind of melded those experiences into how I define myself.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like basically root those things out and like slap truth on them, like take them out and plant something else there so that something else, which is the truth, can grow and flourish. So
absolutely.
So like you said, that they're getting help. That's something that God wants. And I feel like he's giving therapists and all these people the tools and the knowledge to know how to do it. He created us to heal. So he's shown us what that process looks like too. So yeah, I just know that, you know, that faith and mental health do go together. Like that's literally what I've experienced.
And let me tell you something. You are so gorgeous. Like I saw you in the documentary a little bit, but you're beautiful. Like when I first saw you, I was like, your hair is so pretty. I said, what kind of hair is that? You said mine. I was like, like look at all that beautiful hair. Like, I mean, look at that beautiful skin. Get a little closer. Let me see. Look at that, guys. Look at that gorgeousness. I mean, you know, people are crazy. You are gorgeous. You're a queen, a goddess, smart, innovative, doing things that, you know, are out of the box. You know, don't you ever let any of that stuff that happened to you before, you know, ever deter you or make you feel like you can't do what you've been called to do. Mm-hmm. Okay, let that be motivation to be like, oh, I was those things. Look at me. Look at how I've been able to navigate and heal. It's not about, oh, look at me now. It's just like, I want you to see all the work I've done because you know what you did to me. Mm-hmm. If I was able to get where I am now, that means I've been doing work. I've been doing I've been doing the work. Yeah. I'm going to continue to do the work. And now that I've done the work good enough to feel strong enough, I'm going to go and help other people so they can do the work. So I want everyone to be working on themselves and healing. That way we don't have any more of these strong women that don't have any roots. Mm-hmm. Yeah. We are connecting right now. You, and you too, Tina, in there on the screen. We are connecting roots. And these roots end up intertwining, not just with ourselves, they're just intertwining all the way around. So what's going to happen is if we continue on this route, the whole race, the whole skin color is going to be healed and empowered.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that'll be the foundation of building. I really believe sometimes you have to rebuild the foundation. Even in a house, you have to rebuild. So that's what we're doing. Absolutely. We are rebuilding that broke foundation that is having that house on level. So we're putting it back together with coming together. And that's what's going to make it that strong tree to continue to stand and continue to grow. And, you know, I think that's what's the beauty of it. You know, that's the simple beauty.
Black women don't get along. Black women are catty. They don't sit down and talk to each other. Well, Self-Love Sundays dispels that negative stereotype. That's another. We have the most stereotypes of any race, by the way. Yeah. Black women most negative stereotypes of anyone, any gender or race. And it's all lies. I'll say it again. I know I've said it on another episode, but Black women this year of any year have been the most supportive of me and the most loving and encouraging. Black women, whether that's Nigerian or African American or Black American or whatever, the most supportive. Most of the people featured in the film, the docuseries, were Black or of African descent of some sort. Welcoming, allowed me to come in and work with them. Didn't know me from Adam, knew a little bit about me and trusted me. So these are lies. Things are changing, and we just got to keep doing the work. We've got to keep doing the work and keep encouraging each other and telling each other stuff like that. Like, no, I'm not, coming on to her, but the woman's gorgeous. And I think I should let her know that, because I would think that she knows that, but you'd be surprised how many people don't think they're beautiful.
Yeah, true. That's true. That's true. Most people think, a Black woman, a beautiful Black woman is this light skin, long hair. No. That other.
Can you speak on that, Sharee?
Let's see what.
So I feel like that has been really part of my work lately, is tapping into the fact that I'm beautiful, as I am.
Gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous.
I grew up. So I have two sisters. My mom is light skinned. So I feel like a lot of the times I compare myself to her, what people said about her and, her looking this way and things like that. And then growing up in a white neighborhood, but then when the Black kids started coming, I still felt like I was ostracized because I was talked about for being dark skinned. And then, the light skinned girls, the boys wanted to talk to them, the other girls wanted to be friends with them, and I just
sadly they're still rapping about
exactly. So I
in 2021 we don't even go there with the whole rapping industry.
Yeah, we're still there. There's a problem, and we're not going to tackle that right now. That's going to take an army of women to tackle that, and hopefully one day, because it has to change. The degradation of Black women in these rap songs is disgusting. It's ridiculous, and it causes women that ain't like that at all to be still put into that category and not taken seriously whenever we're trying to make change and we're trying to do things. Whether you're shapely or not, it doesn't mean that if I dance, that doesn't mean that I want to do the things in your rap song. If you see me with my thighs out, they're big. That doesn't mean that I want you in any kind of sexual way. It's my body. I deserve to be able to dance, and I deserve to be able to be, in a short crop top and some shorts dancing if I want to. I shouldn't have to feel like I'm disrespecting myself because this is the body that God gave me. When I go back home and look at my people in Nigeria, both my parents are Nigerian, or Ghana or something like that, and I see all of my body shapes and I go, oh my gosh, this is wrong, and here it's like a derogatory sexual thing, and it's just disgusting, and I hate it. We're almost out of time. I want you, Chelise, to tell us about really quick, just say the name and the website for your business. And Miss Sharee, say the name and website of your business, and then we're going to wrap. I'm going to have to bring you guys back. This is a wonderful conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, well, my business is the Shades Custom Creations. So it's DECHES Custom Creations. And I'm on Facebook and on Instagram. I don't have a website yet, but you can reach me there, or you can just look up my name on Facebook and you can reach me there as well.
Yeah, so writer, director, and producer of Black Girl Blue. You can learn more about the film. Follow on social at blackgirlblue.com. That's BLACKGIRLBLEU.com. There's also a link there to join our virtual community, which will be launching soon. You can also contribute to the Mental Health Fund and learn more about things coming up for the film. You can also check out my website, ShareeSilerio.com, and from there you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Perfect. And I'm Tina Riggs. I am the film director, producer of the docuseries Music and Mental Health. It is on our Thought Positive Media page. Everything for me is Thought Positive Media. If you want to talk about mental health, I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. You can find me at betterpathcounseling.com. I have music coming out soon. All right. So just tune into our IG page. That's where you'll see more about all that kind of stuff. I'm done talking about that because we're almost out of time and we have to stay under 60 seconds. Thank you guys so much for coming. I love you guys. You all are my sisters, my new family members. And I just want to say peace, love, and light. And we'll see you next Sunday. All right. Bye.
Bye.